Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Quantum Football. Today, a huge trade went down just earlier this morning. Sam Darnold was traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 2022 second, 2022 fourth, and this year's sixth-round pick. And I gotta say, great for Sam Darnold. We were saying, just a week ago that Sam Darnold might have to stay in New York. Doesn't seem like there's any more market for him. Seems like nobody really wants him. Is his career just over? But no, Carolina swoops in and saves Sam Darnold's career, and now he's going to work under Joe Brady, the same guy who flipped Joe Burrow, who couldn't even start to have Dwayne Haskins, into the number one overall pick. So Sam Darnold is going to be, potentially a top 10 quarterback. And that's crazy to think about, considering that we were saying that Darnold was probably out of the league by next year if he didn't succeed. And in my opinion, I think this is going to be a huge win for the Panthers, because I think any other situation besides under Adam Gase is going to be fantastic. Now, of course, Adam Gase left New York, but I think Sam Darnold wanted to get a fresh start. I think Robert Saleh wanted a fresh new QB, and he didn't really want a guy who was kind of tainted by the organization. I think that's all very logical. So this move makes a lot of sense for both parties. Now, I will say, I think Carolina could have asked Darnold for a whole lot less. I think if they would have, given them a 2021 fourth, a 2022 fourth, I think that probably would have sufficed. Because as far as we've heard, no one really wanted Sam Darnold. So, I think while this is, completely fine, just getting the player out of the Jets, I think they could have gotten him for far less. At the same time, I don't blame them for overpaying for a potential franchise quarterback. And keep in mind, Sam Darnold is 23 years old. He could be starting the NFL for another 10 years, which, that's all potential and all just, conjecture, but it could happen. Same thing happened with Ryan Tannehill. He was under Adam Gase in Miami, and when he came out and played for the Tennessee Titans, a playoff team, or nearly playoff team at least, he thrived, and it wasn't even close. He's now a almost top 10 quarterback, and that is not something anyone expected to say just a couple years ago. So, I'm going to give the Panthers an A- for this. I think this is going to work out extremely well for them, and this probably should be, or could be at least, an A+ in the future. But the fact that there's at least some uncertainty with Darnold, has to bring it down a little bit. And they slightly overpaid, in my opinion, for Darnold right now. And the New York Jets, B+. I think they could have gotten this deal done a whole lot earlier, and they probably would have gotten a late first out of him. Maybe he would have gone to the Steelers. Maybe he would have gone to the Saints. Those sort of teams could have been in the market for him very early on. However, everyone else decided to solve their QB situation in other ways and not go for Darnold. So that drove his price way down, and we all thought that he would go for a whole lot less than this. And the fact that the Jets get even this out of him now is pretty fantastic for him. Now, what does this mean for the Jets? I think they're going to have to draft a quarterback. I don't think it's any question at this point. I was saying earlier on that, it's almost a guarantee that the Jets are going to take a quarterback, even if they keep Sam Darnold. So now that it's confirmed, who will they draft out of these two guys? I think it's going to be Zach Wilson, but I think Justin Fields is way closer than people are saying. Some people think that Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson, but I think, both these guys would be the number one pick overall. or could be the number 1 pick overall if Trevor Lawrence was not in this draft and the other one was not in this draft. So, yeah, Justin Fields is a fantastic quarterback. I think he's probably going to be the first really successful Ohio State quarterback. So, you know, I think either way, the Jets can't really go wrong. But I think Zach Wilson is better overall. And I think, you know, reports were coming out that they're locked into locked into Zach Wilson. And I could believe that. Well, so, yeah, I think overall this is going to be just a great move for the Jets. They get 3 picks, meaning that they could turn those into really good assets. And, you know, it was just a great move for both sides. Other winners and losers, I think here, these are all going to relate to the fact that the Carolina Panthers are now out of the quarterback market, or at least they should be. If there's a really, really good quarterback at 8, do they take him? If Zach Wilson is available at 8, do you take him? If you're the Panthers? Probably. I would take him, but I don't know if the Panthers would take him. Like, see, that's even, like, pretty difficult. So, we know that Zach Wilson's not going to be there. If Justin Fields is available at 8 for him, it's pretty close again. I would tend to say yes again, but I don't know if the franchise would. Now, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, definitely not Mac Jones. I don't think you're drafting him at 8. Trey Lance is there. He has tremendous upside, but I don't think they're going to go for him if he's available at 8. So, now that they're out of the market, essentially, these teams, these 4, the Broncos, the Bears, the Washington football team, and the Patriots, are all in way better positions to trade up and get a quarterback. Now, the Falcons and the Lions are slight losers in this. I don't think it's quite as big of a deal. You know, the Panthers no longer being in the market for a 2021 quarterback, meaning, you know, it's going to drive down the price. Less demand for a quarterback means you're going to get less for that pick. That being said, I think you're going to still get similar value. Despite all that, I don't think it really matters how many teams are doing it. So it's very, very slight. But these guys gain a much bigger advantage because they have less people to compete with for that pick. And they have to pay a little bit less. And I'm talking like, you know, 3rd versus 4th round. Like, they'd only have to give up a 4th in addition to, like, 2 firsts if, like, you're trading up to 4 for the Patriots. Maybe not a 2 firsts and a 4th. But you get what I'm saying. Like, barely any difference between it. But you have to compete with less teams. So that's much, much better for the Bears, for the Broncos, for the Washington football team, and for the Patriots. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this news update. I think I'll end up doing a mock draft, and I've had Carolina take quarterbacks in literally every mock that I've done. So, I don't know how it's going to go, to be honest. So, yeah. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.